Happy holidays, crew. This is Michelle here from Watergirl Quilt Co. And it's the last day of November, which means tomorrow, all of you crew who purchased one of our Advent boxes, you get to start opening your goodies. I'm going to be here with you every day on YouTube to open the gifts along with you and tell you some of my favorite things and about why I put those in your box for you. But first, let's start by reading the poem that's in your Advent box. 'Twas the last night of November as I sat by my Watergirl Quilt Co. Advent box, waiting for midnight to strike on the clocks. Patterns, fabrics, screwdrivers, or lace, a new Bernina sewing machine would put a smile on my face. Suddenly, the chimes struck. It was time to open day one. Woohoo! 24 days of quilting fun has begun. Crew, I hope you're going to join me back here tomorrow morning when I post December 1st, 2023's Advent video. You'll find me sitting right here, and I want to tell you a little bit about the quilt I chose this year to be my backdrop. This is a quilt that belongs to my husband, Tony, aka Mr. Watergirl, and it was made for him by his Nan Kennedy. It is a beautiful red and white bow tie quilt, and from what I can see, the blocks were all done by machine piecing, but the quilting on it is all done by hand. Tiny little, very evenly spaced stitches, so that when this quilt was washed, it has such a puffy, beautiful effect. It's a bit yellowed. It has been well loved. It's at least 50 years old. So a little bit of the story about my husband Tony's quilt. Tony's first memory of this quilt comes from when he was age 7. That's his earliest memory of having the quilt in his room. He was living at number 2 Gatehouse on the RMC site in Kingston. His dad, Major George Kennedy, was working there at the time. And Tony remembers that he loved this quilt so much that he had his parents paint all the furniture in his bedroom in the color red. And Tony was telling me that red paint lasted a long time on the furniture. I can only imagine if a parent and a child came to me and said, I want everything in my room painted red, Mom, I'd be like, oh my goodness. But Tony's mom did it for him. And so his bed, his desk, his dresser were all painted red to match Nan Kennedy's quilt. He also remembers that he had this really cute toy box. It was in the shape of a truck. So the box part of the truck would be where you'd put your toys in. That got painted red as well. It said on it, Tony's Cartage, and that's where he would keep his stuffed animals, his stuffies. So I thought that this was a beautiful quilt, and to honor the Kennedy family and his Nan's joy of sewing, because I would imagine, like all grandmothers, that she loved making this quilt for him and giving it to him when he was a small child. And Christmas is a wonderful time to remember those who aren't with us anymore and to pull out these special items and treasure them. So I hope you will join me back here tomorrow, December 1st, when we will open the first package in our Watergirl Quilt Co. Advent box. Until then, happy holidays, crew!